are back with another incredible guest. I titled this, Have You Ever Felt Stale or Stagnant? Tonight, I am joined by one of my very good friends, another great friend who I still have not met in person, but we will, Tina Guimar. So thanks for joining me tonight. I really wanted to get you out here and meet everybody and them to meet you.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it. Glad to be here.
It's been a journey. I want you to really introduce yourself, let our guests know who's Tina and really what do you do?
So Tina, I'm in Rhode Island, little Rhode Island, and I've been an accountant my whole life basically, and I was a workaholic. I just worked all the time, and I never really took time for myself and, taking care of the family. That was my first priority besides work. And I just got to the point where I got burnt out. Like, I had two turning points in my life, and I'm not going to talk about that right this second because it's in my chapter. So if you really want to know about that, let me know if you want pre-order a copy of the book. I'll sign it for you and ship it off to you. But yeah, I had two turning points in my life. So the first one happened in 2015, and that was a turning point that made me realize I need to stop working all the time. Like, there's more to life than just work. So I kind of started working on that, and then my next turning point came in 2017. And that is when I realized, what am I doing? What life have I created up until now? I was miserable. I was not enjoying my life. I was just always going through the motions day after day with no purpose. Like, I kind of lost my purpose, right? Like I talk about in the book where we think we know what we're supposed to do. Go to school, get good grades, get a good job, have a family, have a good career. And I had all of that, but I was not happy. I wasn't happy with the life I created up until then. I was constantly living in chaos every single day. And you can only do that for so long. You can always only do that for so long. And then you get to a point where you're burnt out. And I just really didn't know who I was anymore. And that's when I decided, okay, now, yes, it's time for a timeout. And I really went and got help. And I really started doing some deep soul searching and really trying to figure out who am I? What am I on this earth for? Because we all have a purpose. And that might change over time. But yeah, I mean, that's really kind of my backstory a little bit, and just what I focus on now is just helping people to really be a master of themselves, like really understand who they truly are. And really, we live every day and we feel like we have to find things outside of us to make us happy, but that is not what it is. So that's my purpose, is to help people figure that out for themselves.
I love that, Tina. I'm so really grateful that you brought that up, because I think a lot of, I want to say trainers, leaders, I don't know if that's the word I'm looking for, but when we've gone through stuff, there are a lot of people who kind of sit on their high horse and kind of tell people what to do without really exposing that truth and transparency. But the truth is, without going through that and being able to just pause and reflect and ask yourself, like, okay, reflection time, what do I want my life to look like? Hence life by design, right? Because we're making those other, conscious or subconscious choices. And now you're in a position to be able to help other people get out of that place of being stuck. And that's actually kind of how you open your chapter too, is like, if you're stuck, if you're stagnant. But I think a lot of people, when they get to that point in their lives, they feel like they're in so deep that it's too late to get out of it. So do you mind touching on that a little bit?
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said in the beginning of this video, I'm an accountant. I've been an accountant my whole life since 1997. When my son was born, I got a job, and in 3 months they offered me the accounting position. And I didn't go to school for accounting, but I'm good at it. So yeah, we can have careers and focus on what we're good at, but is that really what we're meant to do? And I debated, like I had a time in my life in one of my jobs where I sat there and I said, am I really? And I had been in for 20 plus years by then. And I was like, should I really be doing this as my career? Like I questioned that because, you know, things happen and people say things and that sticks with you. And then you start to doubt yourself. And I even went out, I got my real estate license. I'm like totally shifting gears, accounting to real estate. Like, what is that, you know? But it's never too late to make a change. You know, if you're sitting there and you're doing something that you're good at, but you don't absolutely love it and you're miserable every day, that is not a good place to be, because then what happens, and it happened to me, you get into a depression. I had anxiety. I got into a depression, which turned into anger, and I isolated myself. And I knew at that moment that I couldn't keep living like that because I would not be here today.
I love that. I mean, not for you, but that you came out of it and you're helping so many people recognize, like, if I'm unhappy, if I'm a certain kind of way and it's not a desired kind of way, I have the power to change it. And there's people like you who, I've been in that state. I've been in a very depressive state. And sometimes we don't have the strength. We don't have the confidence. We don't have the knowledge to get to that next step. And so I love, this is why we did this project, so that, you know, you could get out into the world and say, look, draw your strength from me until you're strong enough. And this book, your chapter, your gifts for us, those are resources for people. And we want you to take advantage of that. You know, we want you to get this book into your hands. We want you to connect with Tina and our other authors. So, of course, I don't want you to give your chapter away because I want them to come to you for the book. But I guess from your heart, once they read your chapter, once they go through it, what's your goal for the reader? What would you like them to walk away with?
Well, in the chapter, I give specific 3 steps. I focused on 3 because I don't want to overwhelm people. But I focused on 3 things you can start doing immediately to start to make a change. So my goal for the readers is to be able to take those steps and apply them, and then be able to start going down this different path and maybe really trying to figure out who they are and to just find their happiness, to feel fulfilled. You know, that's my goal. And I really hope that it helps people, because I know when I was having a hard time for those few years that I was having, like, I was like a dark cloud is just following me around. And I didn't know what to do other than what I knew, which was to continue doing what I was doing. But what's the definition of insanity?
Yeah.
You know, and I really didn't know how to get myself out of that until I said, you know, I was always so proud, like, no, I don't need help, I can do this myself. But no, I found out really fast that I couldn't. And just my message is, don't be so proud. Reach out for help. Find those people, even if it's another author in the book. We have so many great authors, like Kim said. Find somebody that you resonate with, that's been where you are, like maybe not exactly where you are now, that has gotten out of that, and just take their advice and put some actions into play to really start to change that for yourself. That's my whole goal, because why are we here if we're just going to be miserable all the time?
Ugh. You know, and when you're lacking that, like, fulfillment, that's a pretty shitty place to live. It is. I've been there. You've been there. We've all been. I think every author in this book has been there. And maybe if you're listening, you're like, well, they're talking about me right now. That is why we're bringing Tina to you right now, so you can make that connection. And I'll tell you, I can't tell you how many clients I've had throughout the years say, I just started praying and asking God, like, show me an answer. And they're like, we're not connected on Facebook, but I found your Facebook Live, I found your video, and holy crap, whether it was through working with me or me bringing someone like Tina out, they're like, right place at the right time. And that's how this works. So we didn't really plan on this, but you have a really, really special, I'm going to call it a gift, because I love it. I love it so much. I love watching you do it. I love going through it. And I'll say recently, you became a certified sound healer. And I just want to talk about that a little bit, because I don't think enough people know about sound healing. And so would you kind of walk us through that process? What is it? Who is it for? What can we expect? Because I've gone through it several times with you now, and I walk away feeling elated, feeling clear, and sending you as many people as I possibly can, because I've lived it. I believe in it. I've seen it work.
Well, thank you for that. Yeah. So very recently, so you know how like you go on this journey and you really like, you're figuring out who you are, what you're supposed to be doing, and you have this nudge, right? You have this nudge and you keep ignoring it. That's what happened to me with the sound healing. And I just want to say, sound healing doesn't mean we're going to fix your hearing, your ears. That's not what it is. I don't know why they call it sound healing, but it's more like, I refer to it more as a sound journey. So it's kind of like meditation. And what I do is I have 7 crystal bowls, which each represents a chakra. If you don't know what chakras are, just let me know. I have some articles I can send you. They're energy centers in our body. They need to be balanced. And if they're out of balance, that's where energy gets stuck. So by going through with these 7 sound bowls, there's one for each chakra, and it's kind of just like you close your eyes and you feel the sound vibrations. It basically balances your chakras for you, and it makes you feel lighter. The reason I got into this is because, I don't know, I just had a nudge, like, look into this. And I don't know if a lot of people that are not close to me know this, but I took piano lessons for 10 years growing up. I started when I was young, and then I kind of stopped taking lessons when my daughter was born, when I was 17. And I always had an ear for music. And what I say to people is like, have you ever noticed when like a song comes on, like you instantly feel better, like you feel energized, you feel like you're in a good mood, you want to dance or sing, right? That's kind of, I guess, how it fits in for me. Like, I feel like that was my calling, basically, is to help people in that way.
I'm so happy. I'm so glad, because I benefit from it. So I'm like, thank you for not ignoring this. But you're right. It is hard to explain. You know, for me, it was almost like, well, you're in a trance, in a meditative state, and just very calm. There's no heavy weight. There's no pressure. There's no anger. There's no anything other than just, what is the gift that you brought for our guest today? Because I know that it complements your chapter quite well. So I'm going to kind of pop that in the comments here if you want to tell us about it.
Yeah, so I have, if you go to tinaguimar.com, I have a menu of stuff there. If you go to the 3rd button on my site, there's an option called Beautiful You. I have a 5-day challenge, and basically what it is, it complements the chapter. So I gave like specific things to do in the chapter, but this goes in a little bit more detail, and you go through, and they're very short like videos, and it gives you specific topics on how to really start figuring out who you are. Like, what is it that you're here for? And it's five videos, and they're pretty short, but I give you I'll go over the topic, and then I give you an action step to do. This was the mini course that I put on Udemy that I got 4,000 students on.
Crazy.
Oh, yeah, this. So now I have it on here.
So I really hope that you have received some value today. Tina's got a lot of great resources for you. The book is just one of those resources. The Beautiful You is one of those resources. TinaGuimar.com. I just want to give you the chance to speak directly to our viewers if there's anything on your heart, or if you have a message for them to leave with. I want to give you that chance.
Yeah, so can you do me a favor and read my dedication?
Yes. Hold on. I read it already. This chapter is dedicated to my granddaughter, Mariella. May you always have the confidence to follow your heart, chase your dreams, and live life to the fullest. I love you with all my heart.
And that is my message for all the viewers today.
Thank you so much, Tina.
Don't be afraid. I know sometimes you're like, oh, I don't have the confidence to do something different. I'm too old, whatever the story is. We all have stories. Don't let that hold you back. That's my message for you today. You have to follow your heart, chase your dreams, do it. You'll be happy you did. It's gonna be work, but if you have the right tools, you'll do fantastic.
Well said. Beautiful. Thank you so much. TinaGuimar.com. Follow her, find her, stalk her, take advantage of the resources. Thanks again, Tina. We love you.
Thank you, Kim. I appreciate it. Love you.
Bye, guys.